work on this film?
The deaf community is really small, and someone I know posted a casting calling for the pilot back in 2019, and that led to the full feature film. And Sumit is saying, I knew Gallaudet. I knew Gideon from Gallaudet University. We went to college together, and I was interested in acting. He suggested I go ahead and apply. They decided to go ahead and cast me as a supporting role, and I wasn't expecting it, and it was all because of Gideon suggesting I go ahead and apply for the opportunity.
That's excellent.
So how was the experience of working on the film once you began?
My experience on set was very, very smooth. We had full access to communication. Everyone on set used American Sign Language, and if there were any issues that arose, we were able to fix them immediately because we all spoke the same language. And I didn't feel less than, I didn't have any struggles with the communication portion, and that was the most amazing, fantastic part of the experience. Deaf Missions has a amazing team. They pick the best cast. The crew that they chose for the film was absolutely outstanding, and they made it possible. Sumit is saying, we loved watching movies and looking at billboards, seeing the idea of maybe acting one day. And so when they finally chose me, I felt honored and I was thrilled to be a part of the moment. And when I got onto set, it felt very different, you know? Acting and watching a movie are two very different experiences, so being able to get a taste of what it was like to actually film a movie was really, really great.
One second. आप लोग जरा सबको चुप करवा दीजिए ना थोड़ा सा।
For the role of Jesus, wasn't this a big role, and how did you gear yourself to get into this role?
I obviously read the script, and the script is obviously from the Bible. So I read the Bible. I became familiar with the stories, the context, the history, and when it was time to transition to reading the script, I already had a well understanding of who Jesus was, what kind of person he is, and I was very familiar through reading the Bible. And really, the rest is history.
Do you have any learnings from that? From the conditioning you had to undergo in order to play the role?
My audition was very simple. There were two parts. They asked me to go ahead and recite one line from Mount Olive, and they asked me to do Jesus on the cross to see how I could express everything with my facial expressions, and that was it. And I was like, okay, simple.
So that's good.
Okay. For Varsha, how did you come about to be associated with the film, and what has been your experience, or where do you want to take the film?
So it's such an amazing experience, honestly, because there is this organization in India called India Signing Hands. Not many of us know it, you know, but like Deaf Mission is doing a lot of good work for the community in America. Similarly, there is ISH doing a lot of work for Indian deaf community. And I belong to the media and entertainment industry for a good long time. They've come to us to give us films which they can dub into Indian Sign Language. They superimpose that on the screen, so even the deaf community can have that experience to, you know, watch all those movies. They did RRR. They did a whole lot of very good films which they dubbed in Indian Sign Language. So similarly, this film, and I think a lot of credit also goes to Sumit for that, that they felt we should also bring it to India. And, you know, also let the deaf community here experience, like a whole film made in sign language is a very big thing, you know. So that's, it's a milestone that Deaf Mission has done and created, and I mean, it's commendable what Gideon has done. I mean, he's so soulful, he just perfectly belongs there to be like Jesus. So yeah, it's because of ISH, they recommended me to take it for the India tour. The movie is releasing in India on a special screening basis in select countries There's a tour in 28 cities that we are doing, and like you see here, it's a very simple screening, meet and greet with the community. Nothing communal about it. It's only a story like any other story it is. And it's a beautifully made film, and it encourages, what I realize is that they want to encourage more people from the deaf community to get into the profession of filmmaking, not fear from being there, you know.
For, uh, for Gideon and Sumit, how important is it that the deaf community be involved in filmmaking and storytelling, and what difference can that make?
I believe this movie belongs to the deaf community, and there are many deaf Indians hungry, and they are very skilled in their own fields, but they have no proof to see that they are capable of doing something so incredible. And so for them to be able to see this film, regardless of the religious history, but them to be able to see a media production of equal quality to Bollywood or Hollywood, I believe that will encourage deaf Indians to do it, and that will encourage them. Will also encourage hearing people that see that deaf people are capable to go ahead and invest in them, and see that deaf people are equal to hearing people, and encourage them for growth and opportunity. And Gideon is saying also to provide role models to the deaf community, and I want to show the value of language access. There are many deaf Indians here in India. They have not had access to language, they have not had access to communication, but access, say again. Incompetency of language is not, no, I need the full sentence. I'm just gonna back up again. And so with this film, deaf people now are able to see that that hearing people are going to see that deaf people are not incapable of doing anything. They are able to do anything that they desire. And I want hearing people to see deaf people more than just a disabled group of people. And Sumit is adding, I believe that deaf people can do anything other than hear, and that is true. And so to recognize that deaf people can do it is very important.
Last question. What do you think, what is the message that you are giving through this film, and what are the people need to do personally?
We want to inspire deaf Indians here to see themselves on the big screen and behind the scenes, or in front of the camera as an actor. And also we want hearing people to see deaf people and to give them opportunities. And we want deaf people to succeed. It's really hard for deaf people to succeed by themselves. Deaf people need your support. They need your allyship, and that will make a big difference in India. And Sumit is saying, I'm very inspired by the people here in India, and I know what it's like to be in India and for people to believe that I'm not capable of doing things. And when I moved to America, I felt inspired, and I was able to see what I was able to contribute to the community. And so I want deaf Indians to see that they are capable, and to see that they can do whatever they want to do. I want them to recognize their capabilities, and I want them to get that community recognition as well.